Inspiration Nation. Hello, Lee Kemp here for another week on the podcast. Jose Noya in the house. Ryan Boniface sadly not with us. Something last minute's come up, but I'm sure he'll be back again next week. Jose, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good, Lee. You? How you doing, mate?
Very good. I'm very good this week. Thank you for asking. Right, I've deferred my responsibilities and I've asked you for a subject this week, but you seemed quite excited about this. I'm intrigued. What are we talking about this week?
Yeah, this one is from the fourth Earl of Chesterfield.
Okay, the fourth Earl of Chesterfield.
So you know what I mean when I said that. You
Yes,
might
I'm
go,
with
"Oh,
you now.
this is
I'm with
interesting."
you.
This is Philip Dormer Stanhope around small productive habits. That's what he said. Take care of the minutes. The hours will take care of themselves. And this was the source from letters to his son on the 6th of November, 1747.
Oh, do
How
you remember
crazy is
that year?
Yeah, I do actually. It was a good year for wine.
A good year for wine. I like it.
Okay. Oh, you're doing something. You typing in.
I'm just reading about said individual whilst we're looking at
Okay.
it all.
So whilst Lee is chatting or reviewing, he's doing his squinty thing because I
I
think
am
he
doing
needs
my
some new
squinty.
glasses. I will put a little spin on this before Lee. Give him a little bit of time to think
Thanks.
and review. So for me, this goes back to those atomic habits pieces around small, consistent habits. But this goes a little bit even more to the minutiae detail because it says take care of the minutes and the hours will take care of themselves. This aligns to me in terms of where we can get distracted in the moment, having focus time because we get distracted by lots of things. So I literally on my calendar at work have to have time lotted out for specific things. I no longer jump about. I really do want to be in the moment in those minutes. So then the hours, the days, and the weeks, and then the months and the years take care of themselves. So for me, my morning routine sets me up for that. So I have my morning routine, I get up, have my coffee, have my breakfast, then I'll go and do unload the dishwasher or whatever. Then I will actually then go and do my exercise that I do every single day because I was talking to Lee and I want to get good at tennis. I also want to look after my well-being. So that routine started off many years ago as running, and now it's evolved to then it evolved to sort of press ups, and there's more in stage between. But now it's evolved into stretches because I've gone to physio because I've got a challenge with my shoulder and my knee, but it's much better now since going to physio. Now it's evolved to stretching and strength exercises, all geared towards tennis outcomes. But what I'm finding the benefits of this are is that it's making me stronger, making me fitter, and it's making me better at tennis. So I truly believe in this quote which says, "Take care of the minutes, and the hours will take care of themselves." In fact, I say, "Take care of the minutes, and your life will take care of itself." Because I'm finding by doing just these little small routines and adjust them, pivot them every single day, the compound effects for me as in my 50s are incredible. I feel fitter than I was in my 40s. And that's what my take on it is. And there you go. Thoughts from you, Lee? Have you managed to have a little read?
So there's a question that you ask me every podcast for a while, normally
You
near
know
the
what it
end.
is.
So would you like to
Yes.
ask me that question?
How is the cross training going?
Good. So obviously we talked last week, and due to matters of circumstance, I deprioritised it. But I said I'm just going to get back on. So I did get just back on Monday this week past, and I matched my performance for the last time I did it from 2 weeks previous. So I got back on it and I hadn't taken a backward step. And I've been on it 3 times this week and matched that performance. The last time finishing, where are we now? 20 minutes ago from now, it being 5:45. So I did, and that's the aim. It's to do 3 or 4 times a week. So I did 3 this week. Um, and I matched that. And in fact, I went above a bit more this time. I've gone more, but I need to. This problem. I bought a lower cost model, shall we say? And I'm like, well, what's the difference? A cross trainer to cross trainer. I found out the difference is there's a lot of squeaks and clicks and grinds and noises that it makes. So I'm going to get my WD-40 out of the weekend and make it less squeaky. Otherwise, I'd have probably done a little bit more. But it was really conscious that there's a house full of people here, and I was loud by the end of it. So I'm back on it. But as I was doing it today, again, it's not lofty heights to get to, but I was about 5 minutes in and I'm like, I want to do like 17. I'm not even close to it. So it helps. There's a ring on it that tracks your progress, and it goes quarters. So it fills in a quarter of time and you're back to the start. So that became my thing. I'm like, just 2 more quarters and I'm at 2 minutes. Two rings round, I'm at this. So really, and it rather than being like, I've got 10 minutes to go, I've got 8 minutes to go, I've got 5 minutes to go, it's right, there's just 2 more rounds, whatever it'll be, until I'm at the next stage. And I was breaking it in so that actually I was more worried about the next minute, or the next in. It's basically 0.1 of a kilometre on each bit of the quarter. So you do a third of a kilometre, just over a third of a kilometre. It's terrible breaking stuff down when it's metric on each circumference, and that's what I was worried about. So I rambled my way there, but that was me. If I worry about each round of the circle, getting all of them done, however many I need to do, 15, 20, 25, takes care of itself, because I'm just focused on the next one. So broken it into little tiny short goals to get to the, so I wasn't focused on the big goal. It's just the next one. And it's a lot easier to get and be like, oh no, I'm still good, I can do the next one. I'm still good, I can do the next one. I'm still good, I can do the next one. As opposed to, I'm feeling a bit worn out and I've still got another 10 minutes to go. And it's just my checkpoint each time. And I'm always happy to say, yes, a bit more, yes, a bit more, yes, a bit more. So that's me doing the minutes and the hours taking care of themselves as an analogy, because I'm definitely not running for an hour yet, but you get where I am, if that makes sense.
And then 25 becomes my norm, and then 25 becomes my norm, and then as I get stronger, that I'll go, I'll just do 26, and it started off at 15, and this whole routine of mine started off, as I said, just from a short run. It turned into miles, and then I got bored with that. Then I turned to tennis. But now this whole routine now, and after I've done that exercise routine, I do unload dishwasher, go home, I'm home, do my dishwasher, then I go for a walk. So I not only do I do that, then I go for a walk, and this is all part of that. It just seems to tag on. I don't know what's happened, but this routine now has just turned into some sort of everyday thing. I'll do this exercise routine, and now I go for a walk in the morning before work, and I get outside, and that was like a 35-minute walk, but it's really enjoyable. And I come back, and so by the time I'm at work, I've done probably, what was that, sort of 20 minutes there, 30 minutes, what's that, 50 minutes of exercise nearly every day. That's crazy to me.
And you just made it routine by doing a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more.
Yeah, and it's almost like it's evolved itself, because you just do one more thing. Sometimes I get the slam ball out, sometimes I do a bit of stretch work. But now it's just a thing. When I don't do it, I just feel that, oh, I should be doing it, which is a really weird thing. And I never thought that ever happened to me. And it's because of that, going back to this quote around take care of the minutes, the hours will take care of itself. But I actually said earlier that I think take care of the minutes and your life will take care of itself.
Absolutely.
Because
You can apply it to everything.
those habits. Yeah. And again, because exercise has always been our thing, isn't it? We've always struggled with it. I think all of us, at one point, Ryan himself, and I know Ryan got a walking thing, didn't he? He walks, walking desk.
He's got a walking desk, that's the way to say it. It always throws you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was thinking, what's a walking desk? So this is what I mean. I think these are things we can apply to everything that we do. And that's why I think this quote's really, really powerful, in terms of just start doing it really small. And when I coach, that's the thing I advocate. Just don't do a completion date, do a start date. Just do a start date. Don't do a completion date. You can bake that in later, but just do a start date. In fact, my daughter goes to the gym, and I was really proud of her, because she said, Dad, I went, yeah. And she said, I went to the gym. I didn't want to go to the gym. It wasn't the greatest workout, but I went for 45 minutes and went down. I said, the fact that you got in your car, went down the gym, and if you stay for a minute, it doesn't matter. In fact, you're training yourself to go down the gym is brilliant.
That's it. Absolutely.
So I
That's
love
the
that.
biggest step is getting there, isn't it? So yeah, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
No, and I think the biggest challenge we have around these things is that we don't do it. We just don't end up doing it. That's why I love the book, James Clear. I'm a very big advocate of it. In fact, this quote that you got is from his email. You haven't got his email, get his email. It's really inspirational. And he talks about setting up your environment for success. So Lee, where have you got your, you don't have to speak details, but where have you got your step machine set up?
It is literally, if I move my arm out like this, I can touch it. So it's next to the side of my desk here.
So you've really just made it easy for yourself to just jump on them as you start.
Absolutely. So it's just, yeah, it's here,
Yeah.
ready to go, easy. It's not used. I don't stack stuff on it that I've then got to take off and everything else. It's currently in my environment, ready to go. In the future, when rooms become available in the house, as they do as kids grow up, it will sit in one of those rooms, but it'll be set up, ready to go, like it is here. There'll be a TV facing it, so I've got something to watch while I'm doing it, because that helps me. You know, you zone out on what you're doing, don't you? But it will just be easy and ready to go, because you're right, that's a big part of it, isn't it? You just make it ready. It's got water in it, ready to go.
I love that, because that's another thing James Clear talks about, and I am advocating a lot because it is a really powerful book, that you set up your environment for success. You make it easy. You make it so it makes you want to do it, and it's easy. So one of the things that I used to struggle with, and I don't know if you had this, Lee, is that I never used to put my clothes out, or I never used to have it ready. Literally, this thing that I do in the conservatory, a bit like you, is that it's just there. The equipment is there. All I've got to do is just roll them out, and I'm there. I'm doing it. It's literally easy. But if I just say, for instance, I had that mat in a cupboard hidden away, I would probably not do it, because it's just too much grief to go. My brain would say, "Oh, I can't bother today because it's in that cupboard." So that is the absolute key: is make it as easy as possible for you to do the thing.
I agree.
And that's it.
And that's made me think.
You know, that's what
This is more makeup of who I am as a person, I think. But I'm a big fan of, when I finish doing something, I leave it ready to go next time. So that it's whatever it is. So I like, you know, and I'm trying to think of good examples, but even when I'm cooking, I'm a big fan of cleaning as I go, so that almost like there isn't then a second job of tidying everything up afterwards. Don't get me wrong, this, you know, if you bake something in a tray, that's not going to be instantly clean the second it's done, but all the stuff that was what I used to get it into the tray in the first place is done and ready to go, and everything's back in its place. And throughout everything, like we spoke before, and I used to have my paperwork tray, which doesn't exist now because you don't have bloody paperwork, do you? So it's almost solved itself as a problem. But I would, any bills and stuff that come into the month would go in that tray, be ready to go. And then on the one day of a month, I had my routine. I'd do all the money stuff. It was there and it's ready to go. Another sheet ready to go. And I'd clear it all down and I'd put it all away, ready to start filling it up again. And again, it's not necessarily deliberately from what the mentality you talked about, but I definitely have that bit about, I'll think of an example. I'm jumping around here, I know. It's because I've done the run, so my chemicals are all over the place. But as an example, there's a song, Dido, the artist, and she's singing about going on holiday. I can't remember the exact words, but one of the lines in it is about clean up the mess I made before I went away. And to me, that's the antithesis of what I would do, because if I'm going on, the last thing I want to do is come back to the mess that I'd made before I went up, because that almost puts you off of then doing the next thing. I like stuff to be ready to go. So the last bit of the job is always making sure it's ready to go next time. Same it'll be when I'm doing my DIY. You know, I had a big project last year, and the last thing I do is make sure all the brushes are cleaned off or wrapped, so that I don't then have an obstacle when I get ready to go next time of, I've got to clean all the brushes, I need new brushes, I've got to do this. I like everything to be ready to go, which again, it's just a personal habit, but I think that's part of that thing you're talking about, is you make it easy. You don't give yourself an excuse to not do it.
I love this, because this also, when you're talking, and it goes back to the bed making. Do you remember the bed making we all both do now? Same thing. Last thing we do is like have to make your bed, or you just jump into a messy bed. It's horrible. Yes. But now you go into that bed, it's like a lovely made bed. This is good. So every morning I'll make the bed, just make the bed, and it's lovely. However, I do want to share that I'm not perfect, and there are things that still
Whoa,
do
hold
fall
the
off.
phone.
Yeah, exactly. So there is some paperwork that I've got to do, and I've not done it. And do you know why it's not done? Because it's in a bag, like you said, and it's in a bag, and I know exactly where it is. And every time I think of it, I think, oh my God, it's so much work because it's jumbled in with loads of other papers,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
my brain's going, it's just too much. Now I've got to attack this at some point, and I do have to dig it out. I did attack it once, and what happened is I was waiting for some paperwork to come in, and it's now come in, and I thought, oh no, it's come in now. I now have to go and do it again. But I put a massive effort to get it off the ground, and now I've sort of lost momentum.
and I
This
bet
is the bit
every
now I've
time
got
you
to go back
think
through the
about it,
whole thing. Yeah,
you don't do it, and then it's an even
yeah,
bigger job the next time you think
right.
about it.
Now the whole thing is I've not set up my environment success because it's not set up. The bag's not out. The paper's not organised. Like you just said, you had a tray with the organisation. So I just wanted to share that although there are things that are good in what I do, there are also things that aren't so good at what I do. So I'm still a work in progress too. And I want to remind people of that I want to share that because sometimes you can talk on these podcasts and people think, oh, you got it all figured out. I can tell you now, people have not got it figured out. There are successes and people who tell you about that, but there are also things that we all got to work on. So the fact you're hearing us on this podcast talking about these things that we do well, there are still things we're not doing so well, and that's one of mine. And I know I've got to get around to it. It's a ball ache. It really is a ball ache. I know I've got to get around to it. And now saying this podcast, I'm thinking, right, I've got to try and get on that. Now, when I'm going to do it, I've got to actually block some time out for that to actually just focus, dedicated time. But at the minute, I have another challenge with my broadband. Now, I'm moving from a well-known provider. Now, this is a lot of effort called Sky. And I'm going to be proud to say they were ripping me off, absolutely ripping me off. So now I'm switching, but it was a ball ache. I rang them up. I said, "Can you do it X?" They couldn't do X, so now I'm switching. But it's a bit of a ball ache, so I'm doing with that right now. So after that, I'll do the paperwork. And right now, I've got a better deal than ever with a provider. So I'm very, very proud of myself for switching because it's been 20 years with Sky, and I'm very disappointed with what they've done. But it's taken a big shift because I like, what am I going to do? Going away from Sky, I've got all these things, and I'm very proud of myself to change. And yeah, that's the other thing I've done. So I've got that on my plate at the minute, which that should be cleared by next week. But again, I had to just set it up for success. I had to actually dedicate time to it and get it organised, make the call, do the stuff. And I've got to be honest, I use modern technology to shift me along. I let you
How
into my
did you
super
do it?
secrets. I used Claude, another AI, not ChatGPT, and it was absolutely superb the way it made me shift. I just couldn't believe how good it was. So thank you, Claude. You've kept me on track. It's almost like my personal get stuff done coach. And it was really encouraging me to do this. So I've done it. So there you go. There you go. This is another thing. So again, there are things that are happening, but there are things that are not working that I need to adjust well. So we all have stuff that's not working. And before I let you answer, Lee, I just want to give a shout out to Foxy. Thank you very much for the gift. Thank you, Lucy, for joining. I appreciate you. Look at that. 235 likes. I appreciate you all. Thanks for coming on. Over to you, Lee. Throwing it over. Silence.
That was good. That was a good lot of talk there.
I don't know. Was it a good lot of talk? You think that was a lot to say?
I think especially this quote, which wasn't deliberate to it, but we pulled it back to a few real granular, real life examples, which is really cool. And look at you making the brave move to go from Sky to, I presume, a local broadband provider of some sort, I presume.
It's a very local. Yeah, it's a very local one. I'm very proud to have gone with them, actually. And actually, when I've looked, Sky actually, they tried to send me an email so you can get it cheaper. And when I looked at it, they said offer me Sky 35 or something. And I looked up as 35 megabits per second. And I went, what are you talking about? We're getting 500 megabits per second.
Don't. This makes me, I can't get that where I live. It makes me, and even with one of the local ones, there's a buffer of 2 houses that way and 2 houses that way that can get it. And I'm right in the middle where you can't. So it's been talked about that it's going to be ready by December 2026. So let's see.
Okay. So it's in the pipeline.
It's on the horizon.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm giving Sky a bit of a bashing because I think, just a message to you, Sky, if you ever listen to this, your customer service and you loyal customers, you need to treat them a lot better. I have sent you emails. I have sent it on your both 2 feedback channels and a reply to your email, which offered me a cheaper price for a terrible speed. I've given you some feedbacks. You've had your opportunity.
Look at you getting in your doing your paperwork, Jose, doing your paperwork. Like it's
It's my
good.
life admin. It's life admin, isn't it? Life admin's a ball ache, though, isn't it? It's a ball ache.
Oh, sorry.
That's
So back
all
to your Philip Stanhope, fourth Earl of Chesterfield. So and so the quotes,
right. I
the
love
quotes
that.
came from letters that he wrote to his son. I don't know if you mentioned that earlier or not, and then
Right.
it gets
That's the
gets
source,
put into
yeah.
books.
The source. Yeah.
And there's a few things he's famous for. There's another one on time management, which is one of them, which I really like, just for an alternate one on him that reinforces some of the stuff we talk about. And it's there is time enough for everything in the course of the day if you do but one thing at once. But there is not time enough in the year if you will do two things at a time. And I agree that it's the whole multitasking thing,
Wow.
isn't it? Is that if you just do this, it's far more productive than trying to balance three things all at once and not really getting anywhere of any of them. And I wholeheartedly am a reformed multitasker who knows that now isn't something that gets you anywhere. Now, it might be that you break a job up into 4 slices and you break another job up into 4 slices and you do a slice of job 1, a slice of job 2, but you've got to be focused on one thing at a time or it just doesn't work. And again, you can move around, but you can't have job A open on your screen, job B open, and it's not workable. And I tried it for years and I believed I was good at it for years and it wasn't. And this is 400-year-old wisdom here saying this. So he was really good at time management.
Yeah.
And it's not new, but it is wise and it does work and you do have to learn it. Something else on a more humorous note, he also talks about politeness a lot to his son. And not always that you be polite because it's the right thing to do, but actually it gets you further if you are polite. And not in an underhand, maybe, I don't know, but I see that, why be rude if you don't have to, or in fact go to be polite. But the quote that made me chuckle, so Samuel Johnson, who was Samuel Johnson? Was that his son? 1 second, sorry, I'm reading and going to go. So Samuel Johnson, anyway, said, I don't know if was he American president? Anyway, Samuel Johnson said of the letters, they teach the morals of a whore and the manners of a dancing master.
Wow.
And it says, as a means for getting on in the world, implying that Chesterfield promoted good manners as a method of advancement rather than because of their inherent moral value. And I'm not saying I agree with that, but it made me chuckle in seeing it in the...
Well, good on Chesterfield, eh? Look at them getting ahead of the curve, blimey.
Yeah, there's hundreds of quotes online in this kind of place of time management and everything. I might do a bit more of a read up on him, actually, Jose, now you've pointed him in my direction.
Yeah, I thought Chesterfield, blimey, so anyway, I thought it was quite cool because Chesterfield has got it's the Witch's Tower thing, isn't it? The twisty tower.
Yes, it does. It does. Yes.
Yeah, the witches. Anyway, I know we're doing a bit of a sidebar there, but yeah, I really love those quotes. What you got there, Lee? Some deep diving into that, which is great. So
I'll give you a couple more, and then we'll wrap up.
I love that.
A couple more?
That doesn't get you out of your it doesn't get you out of your responsibility to come up with a quote next week, though.
There's some great ones on here. I'm going to go through these. So this is just a good one. So, know the true value of time. Snatch, seize, and enjoy every moment of it. No idleness, no laziness, no procrastination. Never put off till tomorrow what you can do today.
I've heard that. I've heard that last bit. Don't put off that one.
Yeah.
Everyone's sort of coined that one, haven't they? Yeah.
Good humour is the health of the soul. Sadness is its poison.
Oh, I like that. You're all about the humour, Lee.
Well, do you know what? I actually, little sidebar. I did one of those Chat GPT things where I said, make an image based on what you know about me. Now there's more depth to our conversations, and it did one. And it put a load of things around it. I said, can you explain why each thing's there? And one thing it kept coming back to in every single answer, and there was a lot about detail and focus and other sort, but it always came back to, and always with good humor, and always, so it must even be there in my conversations with ChatGPT. It's always that, and you always approach it with humor is what it put through everything. So hopefully
you are big on your shows. That does resonate, because you all are big with your shows, aren't you? You're all big with your comedy shows, and you're very into your comedy, aren't you? So
Yes.
definitely is a theme. You've definitely got the nail on the head there. Okay. So what are we doing next then, Lee? Oh, go on. I saw you
One
do your
last
finger.
one, and we'll do the wrap up. So, modesty is the only sure bait when you angle for praise. And I really like that.
Love that.
Makes me chuckle a little bit as well. So, Joe, I'm not that funny. What are you talking about? No. I try my best, but I'm not that funny.
What are you fishing for?
There you go. See? Right. I think you were trying to lead me into some takeaways.
Well, I was just going to say, is it time that we do takeaways?
It is.
Okay. What is yours, Lee? Have you got anything?
Yeah, Lambuna. See? Hilarious. I don't know. I feel like you've opened a treasure trove to me here. So I'm going, just to reinforce, it's what I did, but minutes taking care of the hours. And I know it's a crux of the quote, but that's what got me through the running. That's what will get me through tomorrow. I'm doing some painting. There'll be some horrible bits where I've got to prepare and I just need to break it down into each job. And I will tell myself this quote in my head tomorrow when I'm like, look at all this that's in front of me.
Yeah, mine's very similar in terms of I'm setting up my environment to make it happen, because then it's taking care of the minute. Even setting up the environment in those minutes will be the case of me being able to do those things. So obviously have to do more of that. So that's what I'm going to do, in addition to my tennis and all the things I love doing. So we're going to ask the audience then. We're going to finish with a question of the audience. How are you going to take care of the minutes your life take care of yourself? Sorry, your life takes care of itself. So remember, I'm going to repeat that question because it's a bit messy. How are you going to look after your minutes so your life takes care of itself? Let us know. And as Lee will do his shilling, you know where we are. But Lee, I'll let you do your shilling. I think that's shilling time.
I'm reading now and I've got time for you. Inspirationnation.co.uk. That is where you go for everything to do with the nation. 5 years plus worth of content on there. Inspiration Nation store. And of course, my good friend Jose Noya. Jose Noya Inspiration Nation. Stick it in your Google machine. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Bebo, MySpace, Friends Reunited, AOL Chat Messenger. He's all over them all. Whatever service he's on, go in, follow, and you'll get loads of inspirational content straight to you.
I just wanted to let shout out to Foxy. Foxy's just joining. And Foxy, I did see you gift the heart, so thank you for that on TikTok. Appreciate that. Lovely. Thank you so much. I call Foxy Foxy. I don't even know their name. They've got no name. They've got something, but yes, I call them Foxy. They look like a Foxy on my thing, but they're all regular to the show, so I just wanted to give them a little shout out. Oh, Lee, I thought it was really funny when you did that. Lee, everybody on TikTok and the podcast, he sent me this picture of us going at the end. I thought that was hilarious.
That's a great shot.
So we're going to definitely do that. We're going to definitely do that again.
Well,
Lee and I now have got this thing where we have a competition at the end. So you have to listen out for it right at the end of the podcast.
Agreed.
People are just going to stay. We should say at the beginning of the podcast.
Let's get to it, Jose. Let's get to it. We'll be back next week. 3, 2, 1. Inspiration Nation. Catch you guys later.
Catch you guys later. Yes. We should get people to rate that. Like,
who gives the best
out of 10? Who's got the